Hello. So it is time to tell you about my eyeshadow palettes of the week and what I thought of them. I used multiples. I really I have on my glasses, I have my hair up. I feel like I'm giving you like Sunday school teacher, vacation Bible study. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you think. Let me know. And we're just gonna jump right in. So the palettes that I use this week are all from Sigma Beauty. Now, in my opinion, I think Sigma is well known for their brushes. I have quite a few of the Sigma brushes, especially their eye brushes. I find that they are long lasting, they wash well, they keep their shape. And yeah, they're like your workhorse brushes. And I also have some of their face brushes, a couple that I like in particular. Actually, there's quite a few. There is this one, which is the F79 Concealer Kabuki brush. Now, this is what I use to blend out my concealer when I'm not using my BK Beauty 108. The other brush that I like is the F47 Multitasker. I find that you can use this brush for a lot of things. Like, it has this nice slanted shape, so you can use it for foundation, blush, blending out your concealer. It really is a multitasker. The other one that I like is the Soft Angled Contour. So if you are really looking to have that contour and not have to worry about using like a larger brush, then this one is a good one. This is F23. So if you haven't tried out the Sigma brushes, I do encourage you to do it. They are a more affordable option in my opinion than some other brushes. Oh, another one that I like is the Flat Angled Kabuki. This is one that I will use for foundation. So they have a lot of nice brushes. What I also like is that they will have sales, and ever so often they'll have sales where all the brushes, like all the face brushes, are $10 or something, and that is the best time to pick them up. I'm going to tell you some other things I like from Sigma after I tell you about the eyeshadows. So I decided to focus on Sigma Beauty because one of you mentioned that you had an experience with the Sigma eyeshadow palettes that was similar to my experience with the Kaleidos eyeshadow palettes. So I wanted to go back in and pull these palettes and see how I was feeling about them. I've had them for a while, but I haven't had them I haven't used them in my rotation in some time, so I decided, let me check back and see how I'm feeling about it. So I have 4 palettes. The first one is the Enchanted Palette, and this is the first larger eyeshadow palette that Sigma came out with. They did have eyeshadow palettes before, but I think it wasn't until like last year or the year before where they started actually doing these like long form palettes with like color stories and everything. So on the front there is the name of the palette, which for this one is Enchanted, and then the Sigma name as well. And there is this sort of like design. It's kind of raised, and there is like a shift to the packaging, which is really cute. On the back you have the shade names, so that is good if you are someone that really likes to reference the shades. And also the shade names are under the shades themselves, so you've got 2 points of reference. In the palette you do get a full-size mirror. You have the 14 shades, and you also get a Sigma brush. Now, I actually really like the Sigma brushes that come in their palettes. I find that sometimes when brands include brushes in their palettes, the brush isn't of the same quality as like the brand's regular brushes. But Sigma, like these brushes are for real, like the brushes I showed you at the beginning. So you can do your whole face or your whole eye. Not your whole face. I mean, maybe you can, girl. Maybe you could do some detail work. But you can do your whole eye look with this brush. Now, I know that Kelly Gooch loves this palette so much. It's like her favorite. So if you want to see some looks with this palette, I think she is a great reference. I like this palette as well. I wasn't sure if I would, just because some of the colors are just not ones that I wear as much, but I'm trying to get myself to not be wearing the same colors all the time. The shades that stand out to me in this palette are, I'm going to take this brush out so it doesn't fall. Metamorphosis, which is this shimmer here. And I really like the depth of this evergreen, which is this like forest green, which isn't really even a color that I would typically wear. There's a nice couple of browns in here. There's Claystone, which is this deep one here, and also Loam, which is this one here. So yeah, I find that I think it's pretty easy to get looks with this palette, mainly because you can sort of just stick to quads or duos. Like for example, you could use this matte here, Claystone, and then pop Metamorphosis on top, or you could just use the mattes here like Terra and Loam, and you could come up with a look. They do have a black in here which is called Wicked, and so that's nice to deepen up any looks that you have, or even to do like a powder wing liner. So it's a really nice, cute palette, and I think it can be fun to play with the jewel tones. I am going to swatch a couple of these. Okay, my nails are a little too long, but I think I managed to get some shades on there. So you've got that forest green, you've got this shimmer and this shimmer, which is Metamorphosis. And I am going to just pop those on. And here you go. So the shimmers are really pretty, and the matte is a very deep tone. Now, what I like most though is layering the shimmer on top of the matte. So that's not typically how I do my eye makeup. Like usually I have a shimmer all over the lid, and then I will blend everything out with a matte. But with the Sigma, I find that putting the shimmer on top really transforms the shade. So we've got the Evergreen, and then I'm just putting Metamorphosis on top. And so you can see how it just gives it a little bit more of something, right? Now it's not in your face boom pow like how I typically like, but it's okay. You don't have to always be boom pow, right? You can just be a little bit of boom or a little bit of pow. So if you're the kind of person that just wants more of that subtle look, you know, then this would be a good choice. Now I will say that I think this palette looks better, not better, it's more pigmented on a lighter skin tone. So on my skin tone, similar to like that Too Faced palette, I do have to build up the shades a bit. And for reference, like my foundation shade in Fenty is 450. My shade in NARS, I go between Minaz, New Caledonia, and Iguaku, and then I wear the shade Tiramisu in the Born This Way matte. So I'm of a deeper skin tone. So I do have to build some of these shades up, but if I want just like a really cute, pretty shimmer, I can go in here. And what I find is that these shimmers, at least in my experience, are smoother than the Kaleidos ones. Like I'm not as concerned with having like chunks of shimmer all up in my eye. So that is Enchanted. Now, the one that I have on my eyes today is Cor-de-Rosa. And this one was the one that I was like super excited to get. I want to say that this one was right after Enchanted. And Enchanted, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cute. But Cor-de-Rosa, I was like, give me that one. Those are my colors. So it has really pretty packaging. It has the roses on here. I love roses. And it's Cor-de-Rosa, like rose, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Also, you have the shade names there as you do on the Enchanted. You've got the full-size mirror, you've got a brush here, and you've got your 14 shades. Now, I love pinks and purples and like pinks and purples. So the fact that there are these warmer, like orangey, reddish pink colors here, I was like, this is just speaking to my soul. Now for today, I used several shades. I used this one here, which is Shakespeare. I also used, I believe, Apricot, which is this one here, or Apricot, however you pronounce that. And I used High Society, which is like my favorite shimmer in the entire palette. And I also used Campfire. I was just putting all kinds of stuff on my eye. And I like the way it turned out. Can you see it? Let me, I feel like a teacher. So yes, that is the eye look that I've got going on. Now let me zoom you out. Okay, put these back up so I can see. So yeah, this is my color story. The warm tones, the like pinky, goldy shimmers. I just love it. I love it so much. Let me try to swatch a few. Again, trying not to get these nails all over the place. Okay, so we've got Shakespeare, which is that shade there, and then this one is Campfire, that shade there. So really pretty. I think, yeah, these are just like real pretty. I don't know how else to explain it, but they're just pretty. Now, instead of having a black in this palette like you do in the Enchanted, you have this deep brown that is called Bare Root, and this is really great for deepening up any kind of look that you're doing with the palette. The other thing, if you have noticed, the brush that they have in the palette sort of matches the theme of the palette. So this one is like this like orangey, peachy color, I don't know, but it really goes with the palette itself. And the Enchanted one was like white in terms of the handle, and that also really goes with the palette itself. So there's that. Now, the other one that I used this week is the Untamed palette. And this was their second to last one. If I'm, no, it wasn't. This was their third one. This is their third one. So same packaging as the other two. It does have this sort of raised, like, velvety tiger stripe thing going on. And then again on the back, you've got the shade names. Same old, same old. You've got the mirror, the brush, and then you've got your 14 shades. Now this one is not my color story. And I need to stop trying to make myself be into certain colors. Because I'll be like, oh, I'll try to make it work. Like, I can try to like it. No, girl, stop. You don't like it, okay? That's fine. Anyway, I used it anyway. And the only reason it's not my color story is just it's not color. They don't have colors in this palette that I naturally gravitate to, except maybe some of the reddish ones and like the shimmer that's pink over here. But for this palette, the look, or I'm sorry, the eyeshadow that I really was interested in is this blue shimmer here in the corner, Dauntless. And let me swatch that one. So you see I've got it on my finger. There it is. You can even see that shimmer. And here is Dauntless. Like, look at that. Come on now. That's just pretty. I don't know any other way to describe these shadows that Sigma has besides pretty. They're pretty. They're pretty. People are going to look at your eyes and be like, oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Okay. So there's that one. And I will round all of it off with the palette that I did not use this week, just because I didn't feel like it. And it is the Warm Neutrals palette. Now this, I believe, is like a re-release from Sigma. They already had a Warm Neutrals palette, but it was in, I think there were fewer shades, and it was definitely a different kind of format of the palette. So they did put their Warm Neutrals palette into this like similar packaging and everything as the other palettes that I just talked about. On the back, again, the shade names, and this packaging is just sort of like your basic kind of plasticky thing going on. Nothing super special. And then you honestly just got warm neutrals. So the shades are like aptly placed into this Warm Neutrals palette. The one shade that I feel like stands out amongst these neutrals is Fool's Gold, which is this one here. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch that one. I'm also going to swatch this cooler toned taupey color, which is After Hours, that one there. Okay, so there you've got that Fool's Gold color, and then you've got the After Hours color, which is like this taupe kind of grayish thing going on. And Again, what I really like is layering the shimmers on top of the matte. So I'm gonna do that here. I'm gonna just grab more of the After Hours shade and more of the Fool's Gold and put that right on top. So there you can see, it really just gives a little bit of something to the shade. So that is what I find to be the best way to wear these palettes, is to layer the shimmers on top of the mattes. Don't try to go in, I mean, my advice, don't try to go in with just the shimmer, because it's just not going, it's not gonna look good. You're not gonna like it, okay? Just believe me. I mean, maybe you do. Let me know, because if you do, tell me your secrets. Now, these palettes cost $49 each. Straight up, they're not worth it. They're not worth $49 each. Wait for a sale, okay? Wait until you can get a discount, because I also think you can like layer your discounts. So like Sigma, the website, will be having a sale, and then sometimes you can add on like one of your favorite content creators, their coupon code or affiliate code or whatever, and you can get it for much less than the starting price. And that is how I got all of these. I was like, I like you, but I don't like you enough to pay almost $50. Like, nope. So I would suggest waiting until there's a sale and pick up one of them and see what you think. I want to say now, I did say that I would let you know some other products that I like from Sigma. I already told you about the brushes. I also really like their eyeshadow base primer, and it is in stick form. I really like this for like quickly getting eyeshadow primer on my lids. It's just super easy. I can pop it on, I can blend it out with a finger, with a brush, and it's really smooth. I know some people will use those eyeshadow sticks, primer sticks, as like eyeshadow, but that's not gonna work on this skin tone right here. But if you have a lighter one, you probably could get away with using some of these just as like a one and done kind of shadow, or using it even as like a highlight under the brow bone, which is probably more along what I could do, but I tend to just use them as eyeshadow primers. The other thing that I like is the gel liner, and this is in the shade Wicked, and that's the same shade name, if you remember, as the black in the Enchanted palette. This will give you like a nice dark matte wing that is gonna stay on. I really like it. I've tried other gel liners, and this one from Sigma seems the easiest for me. Like, this is the only one I actually have in my collection right now. Yeah, I don't know what they did. It's magic. The other thing that I really like from Sigma are their brush cleaning accessories. So I like their brush shampoo. I like their brush cleaning mat. I have one of their like drying towers that you don't really need. But I really like the accessories that they have for you to like keep everything nice and clean. So these palettes are not going to like blow you away and like take your breath away, but I do think that they can be good like solid go-to palettes in your collection. Or if you just want like something that's a little cute and different and super like Disney princess, then I would say go with the Enchanted, because you know, you can get that from this palette. You don't need the warm neutrals, girl. You got warm neutrals already in your drawer. Don't play, okay? If you like, you probably don't need this one either. If we all gonna be just honest with one another, you don't need that one. Cor-de-Rosa, I need this one. This is the one I need. And I have it. So there's that. So anyway, I do like these better than I like the Kaleidos ones. Mainly because I felt like they were easier to work with. I will say again that I prefer to put the matte down and then put the shimmer on top. Yeah. That's like my preferred way to wear the Sigma shadows. Let me know your experience with Sigma eyeshadows. I am going to focus on another brand or another palette or something next week. I'm like looking over at what I'm gonna choose. I don't know. And heads up, Sydney Grace is going to have a sale starting on July 26th, which is 3 days before my birthday, July 29th. I'm just telling you. They are having their summer in July sale. If you are looking for some individual, like some single shadows, or you want to get the Enduring Love palette or any of the other palettes, I'm not sure about the Temptalia palettes if they're going to be back in stock. But I would say wait until July 26th so you can save some money. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time.